How's everybody doing? Happy to be back. Springtime is in the air. Daylight savings is here, the summer version of it, which I'm hearing that they're keeping around full time now moving forward. Unanimous vote across the board. This is a good thing. Over here on the East Coast, wintertime, gets dark around 4:30. 5:30 is a lot better. Panasonic GH6 is here. Let's get into this. I'm not really a micro four thirds type of guy. I've owned Olympus, I've owned Panasonic, just not for me. I'm a full frame type of guy. APS-C at worst. But not being full frame is far from this camera's biggest problem. We all know what the problem is. We all know, let's all say it together. Auto exposure. Gotcha. No, it's autofocus. You were right. So many people that buy cameras for video purposes now are just normal content creators. They're YouTubers, they're TikTokers, they just do social media. Some of them do freelance work. And a camera like this, just can't rely on, man. You just can't rely on it. Look, where are we at? Where are we at? Nobody cares about contrast base. You just keep on with it, and it's annoying. And we want better out of you. We want better. Panny, okay? So cut it out. Stop it. Now, one thing that Panasonic has been known for over the years, of course, is their great IBIS. Them and Olympus are pretty much the kings when it comes to image stabilization. Although, when I put the GH5S up against the almighty Sony ZV-1 a few months back, and in my opinion, the ZV-1 crushed it, the ZV-1 with the active steady shot, in my opinion, looked better than the image stabilization on the GH5S. Here's a clip. This is with active steady shot turned on. I'm not doing anything additional in post. We're not using any catalyst browse or anything like that. I think the ZV-1 stabilization is fantastic. And it's so lightweight, you could put this on a tripod that extends out so that you can get a wide enough shot to vlog comfortably. I mean, this is completely comfortable and almost no weight to it whatsoever. All right, now the Panasonic GH5 II. Doing the same walk. Camera's much bigger, much heavier. The microphone is huge. I mean, the stabilization is good, and we're staying dead center. Oh, we're losing me. We're losing me. What did you guys see? Because I look at that background, and I see a pretty stable image on the ZV-1, and it doesn't look as stable on the GH5 II. I said S before, 2. I meant 2. And with the GH6, Panasonic claims that their IBIS is even better. Is it? So right now we have the regular image stabilization mode on. What do you guys think? Me, myself, when looking back at some of the footage, I noticed a lot of corner wobbles no matter what I did. So wasn't too impressed with that. All right, now let's turn on the digital IS and see if that helps at all. All right, digital IS is turned on. We are on the 10-27. This is not a stabilized lens, but you don't typically need a stabilized lens with Panasonic and Olympus cameras. What do you guys think? Drop down below. Is this good enough for you? Just cutting in here real quick, so I'm noticing some kind of weird bug that I can't exactly explain on the GH6, and it's in multiple clips. Not every clip, but multiple. I'm not exactly sure what's causing this, but there's this weird like split screen thing that's happening where there's a visible line in my shot, and it almost looks like it's recording part of the sensor separately, and there's some kind of lag where it's like not lining up right. It's super, I've never seen anything like this before in my life, to be honest with you. Panasonic, if you're watching, feel free to DM me on Instagram, and I'll be happy to send over the original untouched files, so maybe you could check them out for yourself. I have no clue. I've never seen something like that before. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. That is actually an autofocus limiter in the settings of the GH6, which basically allows you to set 2 focus points, a near and a far, and the camera won't hunt or search for something past those points. So we have it on right now. We're gonna bounce around a little bit, move back and forth while I tell you guys about today's sponsor, Artlist. All the music that I use in my YouTube videos as well as my professional work comes from artlist.io. It's the absolute best place to get yourself high quality, royalty-free music. Plus they have a huge library of amazing sound effects. One of the worst parts about editing video for me is when I'm in the zone and then I have to stop what I'm doing in order to spend large amounts of time looking for the right music for my project. Lucky for all of us, searching on Artlist makes finding exactly what you're looking for fast and easy. How's this doing so far? Good? Good. You can sort by the mood of your project, by your video theme, of course, genre, and even instrument. And the same goes for sound effects. Artlist has a huge library of pretty much any sound effect that you could possibly think of. And the best part is their plans start at $9.99 for unlimited downloads and use on all social media platforms. I will leave a special link down below that not only gives you a free trial, but adds 2 free months onto your subscription, which is a fantastic deal. It don't get any better than free. Thank you, Artlist, for sponsoring this video. Again, link in the description below. How's this autofocus limiter been holding up? A few other things that I like about this camera is you have a shutter angle option. I like the flip screen. I think it's a nice looking flip screen. I also like the fact that it tilts up and out, so nobody can complain about anything there. Vlog, which is one of the things that I guess I like. I mean, they're really just doing what every other camera company is doing and giving it to you for free. We do have a fan on the GH6, and I can't think of one time that I heard it kick in. Now, I haven't really used this camera in blistering hot conditions, but fan is there if you need it, which is a good thing. And one thing that I'm really excited about is with a future firmware update, we have SSD support coming. Now, I personally think that should be available in all cameras, at least ones that have a USB-C port on the side. That might be one of my favorite things about this camera. If I was gonna do Micro Four Thirds, I personally would go with Olympus. I would get the new OM1. You get the phase detect autofocus. You get maybe even better image stabilization, and you get better colors, I think. You know how many customers would probably switch over to Panasonic if they had mind-blowing autofocus? If they just brought to the table what Sony and Canon are bringing to the table, I think so many people would switch over to Panasonic, but they are their own worst enemy. And at this point in time in the year 2022, I can't recommend them. I cannot recommend them for pretty much almost anything. And if you're saying professionals don't use autofocus, if you're professional, you're wrong. I'm a professional. I use autofocus all the time. When I'm on a wedding, I use autofocus. When I'm shooting real estate properties, I use autofocus. When I'm shooting music videos, I use autofocus. You know why? Because I trust the autofocus system on the camera that I own. What do you guys think? Do any of you guys own a Panasonic camera? Are you sick of their crap? Do you wish they would just step it up already? Because for me, it's just not cutting it for me. Coming from a Sony camera, a full frame camera that's smaller, lighter, and performs better, I don't know, it's just not doing it for me. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for sponsoring this video. I will see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your week. Yeah!